implosion off of Dyran's Phobius. Tamus, not quite as effective, but still fulfills a similar role, so it could be a good way for them to just split the fight in half. And since you have Toy on a 1-1, implosion sets up really easily for the crossbow of Tang.
Just keep them all in place, breaks the weakness points fairly quickly. Game number 3, once more both teams are going to be on the same side that they have been in the entire series. RRQ HOSHI red side, TLPH on the blue. They're starting on just a mirrored jungling this time. Both junglers starting on the orange side, but Kartizi is going to try and hit that early tree by claiming the entire bot side. JP with the Revitalize going to heal up off of his passive as well. One of the few annoying things about dealing with the Bellary, like these damage is one. It feels like one of the few front lines that you really want to punish, but he punishes you instead.
Well, it is like you trying to punch a tree, right? It's not usually going to work too well. Dyran also having a tough time here. I've never really seen the Tamus versus Lucas matchup since the hero is still so new. I thought it would be fairly even, but looks like Lucas's early game damage is just a really hard handle.
Oh, they're gonna find JP without the Revitalize. This is first blood over to Rins. And that's the start you want as RRQ HOSHI. I think Liquid Philippines, they saw Dyran take that recall. They want to make that early move, but sadly, when you have a Luo Yi, it is just so hard to walk past her.
Unfortunately for Dyran though, he came back to lane a little bit too late to catch that second EXP minion, so he's gonna be half a level behind Sanford for most of the game now without lane priority. And makes it a bit more difficult for RRQ to roam around the map because this Lucas is always going to be around, potentially causing havoc.
The first turtle spawning top side. So Carl, he did start on the orange buff, so they're both going to be at the same level. Susujin waiting for the electrifying beast, will be forced to unleash it very early on. Kartizi takes the turtle away. The shockwave from Sanford not enough to take down Susujin, but Dyran, he's left to his own devices as Rins will escort the rest of his teammates out.
I think Tamus is in a really tough spot right now. The fact that he blew up so quickly with vengeance is not a good sign, actually. Like, you ideally want to be able to hold them for a lot longer. And Team Liquid already building up that initial lead. The XP lane is just completely gone at this point, even pulling in Sanji to continue, making sure Dyran cannot play the game.
Man, even forcing his ult out. So this has just gone from bad to worse. First of all, he hits level 4 late. After he died, comes back to lane, gets forced to use his ultimate instantly. They do force Revitalize out of Sanford in the mid side, so that is something that at least you kind of make it even a little bit. Rins having the diversion. Where do you want to go? Is for Sanford. Interception. Sanford did not see this coming. Into an implosion straight. Sanford flash that to try to get away. Heal up with the combo, but it's not enough. Dyran gets revenge.
That was beautiful timing. Rins knew exactly when Sanford would be reaching the tri-bush there. And that helps a lot. It was very necessary for Dyran to get some existence at this point. Otherwise, the Tamus just falls into obscurity too early. And that is something that RRQ cannot afford. Net worth difference, honestly, not that big at this point. But Kartizi is still in quite a powerful state.
Yep, will be forced to use his flicker, but that's the Wrath of Nature out from JP. Not to mention, that one kill onto Sanford puts Dyran ahead in XP now. The recovery, pretty quick. But Sanford, he's going to be able to catch the wave to kind of neutralize the state of that lane. It seems like it's a lot of a push and pull between the XP laners.
Yeah, EXP lane has always been a very important matchup after all, especially nowadays since the EXP plays a very important initiating utility role.
So Susujin looking for a turtle again. Once more, it's Kartizi gets the objective. Susujin will be forced to retreat, and Dyran is going to be caught out once more. Flash stab on top of him. Sanford sticking on the Dyran like glue. Dyran tries to fight this, but the flash combo and Sanji to help him out takes him out. Yuktizi purifies, tries to back off with the Rondo, will make himself safe.
Team Liquid still winning out the engagements. Kartizi has always been known as a pretty good retribution user. And we can see that Susujin having difficulty stealing these objectives away from him, even though the rest of RRQ are trying to breathe down his neck. Liquid have been able to build up a 2K net worth lead now, which helps a lot since UTC was able to survive that previous gank. There is an entire 1,000 gold difference between UTC and Toy specifically, and the Granger does intend on going for that Sky Piercer second item, so RRQ has to be very careful here.
Not to mention the bot tier 1 just got soloed by Yuktz. Sky Piercer done. Liquid, it definitely accelerated their power spike a little bit. And Dyron is going to be forced to share the wave with Rins. That means it frees out Sanford top side. Diversion to the bottom. Eox sees it's happening, but JP is there though. Not the best target to go onto, but they will try. Burst him down. Wrath of Nature forced out. But still, not enough damage to finish the job, but enough to get Toy that bot tier 1.
It's something. At this point, RRQ will just take any advantage they can get, because their lineup is actually pretty good in the late game, right? Rins, Toy, Sutsujin all scale pretty well in terms of damage. They do still have to contend with Yuktz, but they're a little bit more effective once they have like their third and fourth items than now at this stage of the game. As long as they don't fall too far behind in gold, it'll be pretty good for them.
They just camp Sutsujin. Well, that's so early on, and Karl-TZ will get a free buff. And this is starting to become an insanely big problem for Sutsujin. Every objective fight, he's being forced out of the fight and had to use his electrifying beast way before the retribution range, and now being behind in experience, 2 levels in fact, which means there won't be any objective for RRQ HOSHI anytime soon.
Yeah, Sutsujin's being punished really badly here, and I mentioned earlier in the day that Joy should win out the 1v1 against Rio a lot of the time, but Team Liquid is specifically making sure that Sutsujin never is able to reach that point in the game. They are consistently ganking, they're keeping an eye on where his rotation is on the map, diversion play comes out.
JP misses the Wrath of Nature as Toy and Dyron are able to hop away in time. I guess the philosophy for Liquid PH is just, oh, you're good at 1v1s, how about we play a 2v1, right? It's a team game, so we're gonna bring my whole team to fight you. There's no rules against that. Right, they might find Sanford mid-side underneath the turret. Sanford, he flash stabs and accidentally finds himself within range of an implosion. It's a bit of an interesting interaction with the flash stab connection. He goes down, Karl-TZ gets found out but escapes.
A good combo in the mid lane to finally get another kill onto Sanford there, but Karl-TZ is the true threat at this point there. He's ahead of Sutsujin in farm, in terms of EXP. Liquid is specifically funneling a lot of space and money into him. Conceal comes out from JP.
And somehow the taunt catches Toy. Rins does get out alive, but not before having to expend his flicker. Gotta say, despite Liquid Philippines having that advantage, because RRQ HOSHI are still trying to make proactive moves with that divergent into implosion play.
Yeah, they ideally have to. The thing is, Liquid is positioning themselves very wary about this possibility. It genuinely seems like something they've considered might happen before the game even started, because they're always making sure to watch their backs, keeping an eye on where Edoc or Rins are so that they're not able to set up for that. At the very least, Sutsujin has finally gotten his Holy Crystal. It's actually still a very respectable timing right before the 9-minute mark, so he should be able to do some good damage, but I really like that Sanji went for the Winter Crown here. He knows he's going to be one of the most vulnerable targets, and you would never expect the Vexana to go for it this early.
That's concealed by Edoc. Diversion. They're gonna go for a 2-prong attack. Eternal Guard completely misses. They're looking for a retreat. JP being the brick wall of Team Liquid Philippines. RRQ HOSHI is looking to wait out the big ultimate from the side of Liquid.
A very good disengage there. They didn't see the diversion coming, but they responded to it so effectively, splitting themselves apart, making sure that RQ are not able to catch multiple people in the implosion together. Edoc though, in the back.
They catch one, they have to eat the Wrath of Nature. The full team fight, RRQ HOSHI wants it. They gotta watch out for Toy though. This 1-1 is a threat, and they probably don't even need him in the fight because Sutsujin has just mowed down Team Liquid Philippines. It's a maniac for the mercenary and a wipeout for RRQ HOSHI.
Sutsujin has been bullied for a while this game, not even being allowed to play in his own jungle, and finally finds the space he needs, even a diversion to send Dive into the bot lane to stop that wave being pushed out. The implosion, Sacred Hammer push onto Karl'Teze, even though it was cancelled out by the Wrath of Dryad, set up RRQ in a perfect position for Rins to just pelt them with the yin-yang reactions from behind, and Sutsujin to delay his entry with the electrifying beats to do maximum AoE damage across the entirety of Team Liquid. They need to be able to set up more fights like this. It's difficult to do so now that Liquid has seen it once, but it is finally the momentum that RRQ has needed in the mid-game.
Not to mention that Toy wasn't even fully involved in the fight, right? It was mostly Sutsujin and the rest of RRQ HOSHI. Toy was just hopping behind, waiting for the cleanup moment and realizing that he doesn't even need to participate because Sutsujin did most of the work. And a diversion play, Liquid Philippines, they know. And there's going to be some movements in that bush. Yeah, Karl'Teze checks it and it confirms the suspicion. Now it's all about whether they can deal damage to the inhibitors.
Lord pushing in mid. It's only the first Lord, so it's not going to crash in. Inhibitor doesn't actually end up taking too much damage. But the final tier 2 will fall for RRQ in the bot lane. They now have a 5k gold lead thanks to that previous wipeout. And this is where Sutsujin really becomes a threat. This Joy has reached his 4th item power spike. And Team Liquid actually doesn't have all that much CC against it. They really have to save the Wrath of Dryad now.
Even then, it's not a be-all, end-all solution, right? Like Sutsujin could still maneuver around it if he's just aware. You might not get crowd control immunity, but you certainly can remove crowd control with the electrifying beats. Ritz will be forced to flicker, but they find another kill onto JP, and Sanford ain't getting out of that. Sacred Beast slain. 2 more kills for RRQ HOSHI.
Oh boy, like we mentioned, right? Sutsujin's damage is really high now, and Edok is again being put in a position where he can comfortably save his implosion to catch Liquid on the disengage. He was able to find Sanford and JP there, and even when the Wrath of Dryad came out, the electrifying beats just did so much damage.
Edok's not done yet, even using the concealed toy. He's going to be showing a lot more presence. Extra aura points as RRQ HOSHI takes out 2 inhibitors in a blink of an eye. And this game has completely fallen out of the hands of Team Liquid PH.
It's not impossible for them to reverse this, but they're definitely playing on the back foot now. I don't think Yuktezi has reached the point where he has enough stacks on the Granger to really just continuously pelt RRQ from afar. And that lack of vision makes it a little bit more difficult for them to play around this diversion. Toy also hasn't actually been part of too many of these team fights. We haven't seen the crossbow of Tang being set up on top of the implosion yet. The RQ is still saving that as a final secret weapon.
Wow, a solo implosion on a JP. They have the damage to break him. Even with the Wrath of Dryad, it ain't enough. Look at Sutsujin. Just the mercenary again. Just steps on Yuktezi and kills him. Sanji goes down. Sutsujin item swaps into the immortality. The Lucas from Sanford. Just enough to take down Sutsujin, but his whole team has fallen. Karl'Teze left alone to defend the kingdom. But the true kings of kings are here. They not just want to defend their own, but they want to take what belongs to Team Liquid Philippines, and RRQ HOSHI advances to the next stage and takes out TLPH.